He shouldn't be here.
Lift up your heads, O gates. Who is this King of Glory? Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing.
He saved others! Let him save himself! He is the Christ of God, his chosen one!
It is finished. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit.
Look at him. The so-called King of the Jews, dying like a common criminal. Pathetic! What is this darkness? It's just an earthquake. Nothing more. He shouldn't be here.
Death has no power over me.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me.
You came all the way here for what is yours. Look at you, the dead lamb walking into my kingdom!
I came to take what is mine. The keys of death and hell no longer belong to you.
You think you can just walk in here and take my kingdom? You are nothing but a dead man walking!
I am the resurrection and the life.
I am the resurrection and the life. Death has no more dominion over me.
Death has no power over me.
I am the resurrection and the life. Death has no more dominion over me.
have no power here anymore. I am the resurrection and the life. Death has no more dominion over me. The keys of death and hell are mine. The keys of death and hell are mine. I have taken them from you. It is finished. The keys of death and hell are mine now. It is finished.
They tremble before the throne.
What is he doing?
I was born to stand above.
Take me.
Let go before it consumes you.
No, I won't bow. Not now, not ever!
I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning, and to this day, he still tries to rise.
I was there from the very first moment when light was separated from darkness. I saw God form the heavens, create the stars, define space and eternity, and among all his works, he showed me Lucifer, an angel made to reflect divine perfection, more radiant than any other celestial being. His blue eyes were beacons of intelligence and devotion. His golden wings radiated majesty, and his presence, even in silence, filled the entire sky. He walked with grace. He was known as the leader among the angels, and everyone admired him, not just for his strength, but for the purity of his essence. I saw him sing the celestial harmonies, lead the choirs of light, teach and protect the younger ones, and in every gesture, the perfection of his creation would reveal itself. He was beautiful, intelligent, powerful, and above all, obedient to God. But within him, even in glory, a spark was growing. A spark that started small, almost imperceptible, but fed on his own greatness. He looked at God's throne and felt something no other angel felt. A silent ambition, the idea that maybe he could be equal to the Creator, that his own light might be enough to rival the infinite light of God. I watched him, knowing that every thought could become a choice, and that his choice would change everything forever. He began to question the order, to reflect on his position, to compare his own glory with that of the Almighty. And without anyone noticing, pride began to take root. Heaven, which until then had been harmony, began to change. Small signs started to become visible, golden clouds that moved on their own, light that flickered on the pillars of energy. Whispers of tension ran through the angelic choirs. Some angels felt it. Others still didn't understand. But I was there and saw every nuance, every fragment of shadow that crept into Lucifer's soul. He began to gather followers, those who were impressed by his majesty, those who longed for power. And over time, small acts of disobedience began to appear. First, whispered words among the angels, then direct questioning, and finally plans for revolt. The rebellion didn't come suddenly, but like a slow storm, silent yet inevitable. The day came when Lucifer, in his full arrogance, approached the throne. His wings spread open to cover the sky, reflecting the light, as if he wanted to rival God's own glory. He spoke, not with anger, but with conviction, proclaiming that he deserved more. He should not be beneath any other being. The angels around him were divided. Some still hesitated. Others let themselves be seduced. And a few remained loyal to the order. The sky, always calm, now writhed. Bolts of energy appeared, clouds spun in spirals, and the very firmament seemed to stretch under the growing tension. I watched everything, and my heart tightened with every step that led to tragedy. God, in his infinite wisdom, did not act with rash anger, but with perfect justice. He showed Lucifer that order and light could not be challenged, that heavenly harmony could not be broken by vanity. Lucifer, blinded by pride, resisted. The glory that was once his began to distort, and a black shadow formed within his essence. His wings, once golden and perfect, began to tremble, and tips of black flames appeared. The feathers slowly disintegrated into glowing ashes. Each fragment carried the memory of the light that was once pure. Then came the climax. The sky opened in spirals, torn apart by the conflict between light and pride. Lucifer was cast out of paradise like a blazing meteor, passing through clouds that caught fire in his wake. The entire atmosphere vibrated with his fury and power, and the earth below seemed to watch in silence, distant. As he fell, fragments of the firmament broke loose, spinning like meteors, and I watched from above, wrapped in golden light, feeling the melancholy of the tragedy. His tears of light fell like lost stars. His skin was consumed by black flames, which arose from his very essence. As he fell, every movement still showed his strength, and the rebelliousness that defined him. He fought, even knowing he could not win, resisting gravity and the loss of glory. The celestial ground cracked with his impact, fragments floating as if the sky itself wept at his fall. Silence fell over the space, broken only by the echo of laments and the distant rumble of divine thunder. It was the combination, perfect, of beauty and tragedy, of power and loss, of light and darkness. And when I finally reached the abyss, I realized that Lucifer's fall was not just a punishment, but an eternal lesson about choice, pride, and consequence. The glory he once possessed turned into shadow, but within him there was still an echo of the light that once was. He still tries to rise. He still defies order, still seeks the light he once rejected. And I, who was there, kept watching, calm, with compassion, knowing that all of creation, even those who chose darkness, still have a place in the divine plan. I was there when Lucifer fell. I saw his beauty and strength turn to ashes within himself. I saw rebellion become darkness. And even so, I saw the power and greatness he carried while he shone among us. I was there, and everything I witnessed remains etched in eternity. He fell, but his story still echoes, reminding everyone of the choice, of the responsibility and the impact of our actions, even in eternity. And even today, he tries to rise, trying to challenge that which cannot be challenged. But I remain watching, waiting, knowing that everything, even so, the deepest pride has its place within the eternal plan. I was there and saw it all. After I emerged from the waters of the Jordan, I didn't seek out crowds or chase after palaces. I followed the Spirit to where the land turns into a line and the wind holds memories. I went into the desert to obey, not to prove myself. There, everything excessive dies, and what sustains endures. I fasted. I counted faithfulness, not days. Hunger tried to impose urgency as law. Thirst spoke to me like a polite stranger. I placed both under the word. I belong to the Father, and I walked. By day, I saw the air twist the horizon. The dunes looked like quiet serpents. At night, the cold sliced through like a blade and reminded the body that it's dust. I listened to the sound of fabric in the wind, grains of sand scraping leather, my steady breathing. When the 40th day arrived, I noticed the silence change texture. The desert warns when it's about to be interrupted. I smelled it first, the scent of stone fresh out of shadow. Then I heard the click of a nail scratching rock, rhythmic, like a metronome of intent. I turned at just the right moment. I saw digitigrade feet landing soundlessly, sand yielding like it was giving way. I saw deep red skin with dark obsidian cracks. I saw horns curved back, brittle bone texture. I saw amber eyes with ember light. The heat around him warped the air, distorting the horizon. He acted like he owned the place. Satan assessed me like someone who wants to use a tool. I didn't rush. I let him speak. He spoke without raising his tone, and I heard two layers in his voice. The main one, deep and controlled, and a shadow, delayed by a breath, like a trapped echo. He said,
If you are truly the Son of God, then tell these stones to transform into bread, right now.
Hunger heard its name and rushed in. He drummed the rock with his black nails, like he was setting the rhythm for my stomach. I didn't argue with hunger. I put it in its proper place. I looked at the stone. I looked at myself. I looked at the Father, and I responded as I chose to live. It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. When I said, it is written, the wind reversed for a second and swept the dust from my face. His smile stiffened on one side. There was no anger. There was calculation. Narcissism shifts arguments when it meets a wall. that won't give. I didn't leave the desert. I changed the scale of the scene. I climbed to a natural parapet. The void whistled from below. He kept a distance of about 6 feet, posing like a portrait, chin slightly raised. The backlight outlined his horns. He spoke with the didactics of a showy professor, quoting scripture to seem caring and hint at spectacle. He said, "It is written."
He will command his angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against any stone. Throw yourself down from here.
The text was real, the stitching crooked. I didn't come to turn scripture into a stage. I looked at the abyss, demanding a show, heard the sleeping city in small embers, and responded, "It is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test." At the end of my sentence, the light behind his horns went out for a second, and the sky stopped outlining his figure. He adjusted his shoulder like someone straightening a tie. Cold, calculating, arrogant, without volume. I didn't fill the air with speeches. I anchored the air in truth. Then, I chose the night. I walked to the plain of salt and gravel where the ground cracks underfoot. I stopped. He came in a semicircle, always without touching. Mirage rose around. Miniature cities, open doors without crosses, polished crowns without wounds. He presented his bargain without haste. With the tone of someone drafting a contract, he said,
All this I will give you if you bow down and worship me.
He didn't ask for affection. He demanded formality. The arrogant love public ritual more than intimate truth. I didn't look at the crowns. I examined the price. The shortcut reveals the owner of the road. I raised my hand. I felt the dust stuck to my finger. I let the desert hold its breath by a thread, and I snapped my fingers dry, discreet, intimate. In that instant, I saw the heat around him falter. The air stopped warping. The backlight, outlining his horns, went out for a second. The amber in his eyes withered to dead amber. The cracks in his skin lost their ember glow. He lost a height, not measured in inches, but in pride. Borrowed authority is returned when truth demands it. I took a step. The wind turned. The sand retreated from my feet, forming a ring, and the ground ahead gave a fine crack. He didn't lose his mask. He readjusted the tally. I recognized that coldness, the kind that turns defeat into a future agenda. And then I approached at super speed. The world felt it like a cut in the frame. The wind recoiled half a step, and the distance between us was ripped away at once. I didn't need to touch. I just needed to decide. My shadow covered his, and the heat surrounding him extinguished like a candle in reverse. I let the sand rise to his neck like a collar of dust, not a hand, but the weight of the world obeying the word. I saw his knee bend a minimal angle, reflex, not devotion. The electric hum that accompanied his presence vanished. Then I spoke. Get behind me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Now, get out of my sight.
That is impossible. How? That power! I absolutely do not accept it, not at all.
I didn't yell. Authority doesn't need volume. His body recoiled half a step, obeying laws his mouth denies. Without a stage, arrogance turns into common shadow. Calculating coldness doesn't throw a fit. It leaves, like someone signing a receipt and promising to return at another time, another weariness, other words. I know that promise. The accuser isn't omnipresent, he's insistent, and insistence isn't dominion. I remained. I let the night breathe. The stars became sharp. I didn't call trumpets. I accepted care. Angels arrived as outlines of light and served me. They brought water. The clay sang softly when it received the liquid. I drank. I didn't make bread from stone. I fed obedience with the word. I didn't jump from the parapet. I proved the Father's faithfulness by walking on the ground. I didn't buy crowns. I kept the kingdom in the right place, in the Father's will. I looked at my hands, dust and quiet. It was enough. I left the desert the same way I entered, led by the Spirit. I didn't take stone bread, applause, or borrowed crowns. I took direction and certainty. Behind me, the sand was smooth, as if brushed. When the Word organizes the world, even the dust finds its place. If today your deserts offer you the same sequence, hunger demanding a shortcut, abyss demanding a show, power demanding a knee, do what I did. Don't negotiate your hunger. Put it under the Word. Don't turn Scripture into a stage. Guard it as a covenant. Don't sell your worship for formality. Reserve it for the Father. If you need to mark with a minimal gesture that the lie has lost the right to warp the air around you, snap your fingers as a memory of the decision. And speak not to yell, but to align the world. It is written, when it's time to close the chapter, don't prolong the conversation with the shadow. Give the command I gave. Get behind me. I walked toward Galilee with the same peace I entered the silence with. I didn't need to prove who I was to the desert, to hunger, to the abyss, or to the crowns. I lived who I am before the Father. That's how the world recomposes itself. That's how the accuser loses the stage. That's how the road returns to saying what it always said. Worship the Lord your God and serve Him only.